Hello everyone, welcome back again to a new episode of Reproduction in Organisms. So, in the previous episode, we have already discussed yesterday about budding, fragmentation, regeneration, and all. So, in today's video, we will be studying about asexual reproduction only, but today's method is vegetative propagation. So, without further delay, let's get started. And if you have not yet gone through the previous episodes, please do go through it. I'll be putting the link in the description box below so that it will make your learning process easier in this video as well as in the coming videos. So please do go through the previous ones. So without further delay, let's get started with vegetative propagation. Now, first let us see what is vegetative propagation. Okay, so there are many plants in which the roots, the stem, the leaves, they develop into new plants. Suppose a plant whose root is developing into a new plant, whose stem is developing into a new plant, or the leaf. So, under appropriate conditions. Okay. So, unlike most of the animals, plants can indeed use such a mode of reproduction. So, this is called vegetative propagation. Okay, so propagating by the means of vegetative parts, right? So this property of vegetative propagation is used in methods such as layering and grafting to grow many plants like sugarcane, roses, and grapes in agricultural purposes. So when we are doing this layering and grafting, these two are artificial methods of vegetative propagation that we will learn today only. So there are two methods. One is natural methods of vegetative propagation and another one is artificial methods of vegetative propagation. Is it clear? Now, when the parts of plant like roots, stems and leaves, they develop into a new plant, that is the natural method. And when it is done in agricultural propagation fields like layering and grafting to grow more and more plants like sugarcane, roses or grapes, for agricultural purposes, it is called artificial propagation. Okay, so plants raised by vegetative propagation can bear fruits, flowers, than those provided from seeds. Such methods make it possible in propagation of the plants such as bananas, orange, rose, jasmine that have lost the capacity to produce seeds, right? So another advantage of vegetative propagation is that all plants produced genetically are similar enough to the parent plant to have all the characteristics. So whatever plant is formed, they are all genetically similar to the parent plant. Okay, so we can say that they are all genetically similar, right? So we will see one activity over here. Take a potato and observe its surface. You can notice we can see that some small notches or buds are there. Okay, in rainy season when you observe them, from them you can see white or green, like something is coming out. So those are the buds. They are eye shaped and they are after keeping potato for 7 to 8 days in your home in rainy season, you can see that some whitish sprouts like thing will come out. So they are only the buds. So what they are doing, let us see here. Spread some cotton on a tray and wet it. Place the potato pieces on this cotton. Now note where the pieces of the buds are placed. Okay, observe the changes taking place in these potato pieces over few days. Okay, so make sure that the cotton is kept moistened. So the cotton should be kept moistened. It should not be dry, because water is a condition which should be there for the growing of a or development of a plant or a new bud to grow. Okay, so which are the potato pieces that give rise to fresh green shoots and roots? So that one you can make out. Okay, now similarly there are buds produced at the notches of the leaves like this bryophyllum. If you see these leaves, you can see here at the corner notches there are buds which are producing new plants. Okay, so these parts, they fall bryophyllum in the soil and they will develop into new plants, right? Now, if we are given a definition to write that what is vegetative propagation, what we will write? So, vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction in plants where a new plant will grow From what? From, I have just now told you, from the vegetative parts of the parent plant. So what are those vegetative parts? Those vegetative parts are roots, stems and leaves. That is without seeds or spores. So till now, in budding, in fragmentation, in regeneration, in spore formation, we have studied about spores, we have studied about certain bud formation and all. But this is a separate form of asexual reproduction where they are using only the vegetative parts, that is the roots, stems and leaves. Is it clear to all of you now? Now it results in genetically identical offsprings or clones. So the offsprings which are formed are always genetically identical to the parents. Okay, so they are genetically identical to the parents. Now we will see what are the different types of vegetative parts which are giving rise to the different types of plants with examples. So let us go through it now. Now here comes types of vegetative propagation. In that, natural vegetation comes first, then in the next slide we'll move on to the artificial vegetation, vegetative propagation. Now here the root part. From the root part, the plants which are growing are sweet potato, dahlia and asparagus. Okay, these are the examples and very important. You should learn from which vegetative part which plant is growing. Example plants should be learned. So first one is sweet potato, then dahlia, then asparagus. So what is the description here telling? That roots store food and they develop buds that grow into new plants. Right, so the buds are developing into new plants. Now next comes the stem. So from stem, potato, ginger, onion and turmeric, they are growing. So stem, what is it doing? These are underground stems which have both buds that sprout into shoots and roots. So these underground stems are having buds which are sprouting into shoots and roots. Clear? Now the third one comes the leaf. So leaf, example is bryophyllum leaf. It gives rise from at the edge of these leaves there are a huge number of buds. From them only the new plants will grow, and if they are planted or if they are falling on the soil near it only, they'll grow into another new plant. Okay, so like that only vegetative propagation from leaf is happening. So bryophyllum and begonia, these two plants, from leaves we will see the propagation. So leaves develop buds in their margins which grow into the plantlets. So what are plantlets? Plantlets are small plants. Next comes bulb. So bulb, onion and garlic, they are growing from bulb. Next comes bulb stores food and have buds that grow into shoots when the conditions are favorable. So these bulbs are only growing into shoots and which are having buds under certain favorable conditions. So conditions should be favorable when the buds present in the bulbs will grow into a new shoot or a stem. Clear? Now next comes the rhizome. Rhizome in ginger and turmeric, that is the rhizome. So ginger and turmeric, we have already told here, they are growing from stem as well. So you should be clear that underground stem, from that also ginger and turmeric grows, and from the rhizome part of the plant also the ginger and turmeric will grow. So these are horizontal underground stems which stores food and form new shoots. So is it clear to you? So these are the underground stems only we have mentioned here. These are the stems. These are horizontal underground stems which store food, and from that new shoots grow. Then comes tuber. Tuber is potato and yam. These are tubers are swollen underground stems. They store food and have eyes. Okay, when you see the potato, you will see structures like this on the surface of a potato. These are called eyes that germinate into shoots. So this chart you should memorize fully, and this is very important chart. Once you memorize this chart, you can remember all these examples which I have discussed, and which part is growing into the shoot and what are the characteristics of that part you will know. So it will be clear to you all. Now we will move on to the artificial type of vegetative propagation. Now here we will see few examples of natural vegetative propagation. So first comes the bulbs. Here you can see these are the bulb structures of this daffodil plant and lily. They are formed from this bulbs. Next comes the corms, that is gladiolus and crocus. They are formed from the corms. Now tubers, potato, we have told already tubers, and this caladium, these two are tubers. Then rhizomes, I have told you, ginger and turmeric, they are growing from rhizomes, that is the underground stem. Like that only, here two other examples are there, like iris and canna. These are all flowers actually. So I have already told you ginger and turmeric, like that only. Iris and canna, these are growing from rhizomes. Tuberous roots are dahlia as well as sweet potato. These are all examples of the types of natural vegetative propagation. Now, what is artificial vegetative propagation? So, what is artificial vegetative propagation? That is, it is actually used by humans, and it is used in agriculture and horticulture to produce more and more plants in less time. So, that is the artificial method of propagation. Now, the first method is cutting. So, what is done in that process? A part of the stem or the root or the leaf is cut and planted in the soil to grow into a new plant. So, that is cutting. So, what are the examples of cutting? Rose, sugarcane, and bougainvillea. So, these either the stem is cut or the root is cut or the leaves are cut. So we will see how it is done in the next slide with the diagrams. So now mostly rose, sugarcane, and these all stem cutting is done in these three process only. Now next comes grafting. A stem of one plant or scion is joined to the root or rooted stem of another plant, that is the stalk. So suppose this is one plant stem, it is brought near to the rooted stem and it is joined here. So this process is called grafting. So this part is joined with this part. So this is first part which is taken and joined with the second part which is already rooted. So this is the rooted stem. So this is tied and joined in this part. So this is how grafting is done. It is done in mango, guava and apple. After that comes layering. So layering is a branch of a plant is bent to the ground and covered with soil and allowed to root before being cut from the parent plant. So this is a plant, suppose this one, there are branches of this plant. One branch is brought here and it is deeply covered with the soil so that till the roots grow here, then this part of the plant is cut. Okay, so then it will grow into another individual plant like this. Now this branch is again covered with soil and it is being waited till the roots of this stem grow, and after some time this part is cut so that this will again grow into an individual plant. So this is how layering is done. So this process is done in jasmine and strawberry plant. Last but not the least, an artificial method of propagation is tissue culture, where small pieces of plant tissues are grown in nutrient medium under sterile conditions. Okay. Now that is orchid, banana and rose are the examples of this. So let us see these diagrams of grafting, layering and tissue culture. Now these are the different types of diagrams of what we have spoken about in the previous slide. That is, first one in sugarcane we are seeing the cutting, stem cutting is done and it is growing into a new plant from the stem cutting. Okay, so the next comes the layering. I have already told you that how the layering is done. We are taking one branch and we are putting it under the soil like this, and then we are waiting till the roots grow, and from that only we are disconnecting this part of the plant, and from there new shoots will grow up. So this is the second type of artificial tissue culture, artificial vegetative propagation. First one is the cutting, this one is the layering, this one is the grafting. So what is grafting? We have told that to the stalk of one rooted plant, the scion or one section of another plant is being joined. Okay, scion is being joined. So like this they are tied together and this grows into a new plant. So this is a vegetative propagation method which is done in agricultural or horticultural purposes. Now here tissue culture is done where the plants this plantlets are grown in lab and they are again planted in the soil to grow a huge scale of plants of that type. Is it clear? So these are the four types of artificial vegetative propagation which are done. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this type of vegetative propagation? Let's concentrate on that one. So, what are the main advantages of this vegetative propagation? First one, we can say that it is faster than sexual reproduction. It takes very less time. Plants retain all qualities of the parent plant. We have told that they are genetically similar. So, genetical similarity is there with the parent plant and the offspring can reproduce seedless plants like banana and sugarcane. So these plants are without seeds, and though they are without seeds also the propagation is possible by the methods of these vegetative propagation like layering, grafting, tissue culture and all. It can be done. So these all growth in plants is difficult to propagate by seeds. So it many plants which are difficult, which are seedless plants and which are difficult to propagate without seeds, they are also grown with the help of this vegetative propagation. And so what are the disadvantages here? So the disadvantages are no variation, all plants are genetically identical, making them vulnerable to diseases. So what happens? As the plants are genetically identical to the parents, the diseases which the parents were having, the offsprings or the next generation plants will carry on the same types of diseases. Overcrowding can occur if uncontrolled. So it may lead to overcrowding of the plants in the same region. Too many plants may grow, so it may lead to overcrowding of the plants if uncontrolled. So this is all for vegetative propagation in today's episode, and I think I've made it very clear with the two methods, artificial and natural methods of vegetative propagation, with examples and notes. So please stay tuned, subscribe to my channel if you are interested and if you like more and more topics or as per your curriculum to be taught. So in the next episode we will continue with this lesson only. We are having other methods like the we will next lesson we will see the reproduction in flower, then after that we will see the reproduction in human. So stay tuned because we are continuing this lesson in 5 or 6 episodes. And please stay updated, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends if you are liking my channel. Thank you, thanks a lot for watching.